competition or at Morgan's level are disqualified. So, but we hope we're not going to have any sword touching today. Our next dance is another national dance, another quote-unquote women's dance, which again is danced by women and men. One of the things that I'm often asked is, I'm asked about the color of the tartan. And they'll say, oh, is this your family's tartan? Or is this someone's family's tartan? And the shortest, quickest, and easiest answer is absolutely not. So again, you don't have to be Scottish to do this. We would love everybody to Highland dance. And most of these tartans, my own children included, were also based off of like what fit them on Facebook. Because there's a lot of sales on that. And what you'll notice is a lot of these tartans have white behind them. They are dress tartans, which weren't really historically accurate. Again, if you guys have seen Outlander, you're not seeing a whole lot of pinks or purples or, you know, aquamarine colors in there at all. It's all kind of shades of like dark brown, dark everything. So a lot of these are just completely created, you know, very recently. You'll see, I've seen dress tartans that are orange, ones that are lime green, again, ones that are cerise, aka pink. So it's basically whatever the dancer wants or the parents want, and it's something to kind of make them pop on stage so they don't look kind of drab and dark back there. So the next dance they're going to do is called Flora Macdonald's Fancy. And again, kind of hearkening back to the Jacobite Rebellion, Flora Macdonald was a woman who, after the defeat, was able to smuggle Bonnie Prince Charlie out of Scotland to the Isle of Skye by dressing him up as her lady's maid. And this dance was choreographed to celebrate her and achievement and as a heroine. So, Flora Macdonald's Fancy. no, you stay. Sorry. Mother's duties are never done. Our next dance we have coming up, I'm just going to talk for a minute while our dancer gets changed, is called the Irish Jig. And it is another character dance like the sailor's hornpipe. It's another way that, and this dance completely breaks all the rules. It looks absolutely nothing like any of the other Highland dances, but is really kind of harks back to when Scottish dancing used a hard shoe. And that's kind of still exists in Cape Breton hard shoe dancing, if anyone's ever seen that. But this one takes it on its ear and really takes the character dancing that happened in the sailor's hornpipe and really even pushes it out further, because Morgan's going to come out here and she's going to be an angry Irish washerwoman, complete with lots of fists being thrown or angry expressions and things like that. And depending on the crowd, that Irish washerwoman is either she's just angry, or maybe she's angry because her husband took all of her money and went to a pub. It's whatever people feel like saying. A lot of the things before that you saw, a lot of the dances, you might also, again, the iconic kilt. There is no difference between a male kilt and a female kilt. In fact, the little one that was here, he used to wear his sister's old kilt. So that's a great, really, for Highland dancing, people say, oh, but the kilts are so expensive. But a lot of times these kilts get used over and over and over again, and a good kilt I know people that dance in competition in 40-year-old kilts, so they really get their money out of it. So I think we have an Irish jig, an Irish washerwoman. Yes, we do. Yeah, so you can see this looks absolutely nothing like it, and Morgan will be happy to say not a speck of wool, because that wool is actually very heavy and also doesn't breathe very well. Even though people might tell you otherwise. So, the Irish jig. So I'm going to kill another minute while our last group gets their costume changed into their kilts. So I'm going to make a plug. We are actually, for the first time ever, the state of Wisconsin, in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin, hosting the U.S. Nationals for Scottish Highland Dancing. And that will be, yeah, it's very exciting. Boy. And it's the first one in 2 years because of COVID. We have dancers coming from Scotland and Canada, all over the world, to come and compete. So I would say if you are around in July, the 14th to the 17th, it's at the Madison Marriott West. And we also have our very own U.S. champion who is defending her title, which will be very exciting as well. So, and there will be dancing. It's not just the U.S. Nationals, so there will be absolutely adorable 4-year-olds up there doing their patabas, up to world champions. The current world adult champion is 30 years old and just had a baby a year ago and will be coming out to defend her title. So there will be everything in between, and it should be really, really exciting. And there's a special rate for Wisconsin residents to attend day rate, which I'm super excited about as well. So, so we'll hopefully be having stuff in the media also, or you can also just Google Madison 2022 and put like Highland Dance next to it, because there'll be all the information there. Nope, I have to keep talking. Our next dance, you can come off now, Morgan? Our next dance is our last dance, and that is the Highland Fling. And again, that one's pretty iconic as well. I think Lucy did one, and I Love Lucy. That's kind of, you know, I've seen before on Facebook. And it is, it's the one that also people think about. And it's the first dance that people tend to learn. And some of the story behind that, they talk about the Highland fingers being like a stag's fingers. So you'll see them holding their arms up with that finger position, that hand position. And it's also the history behind it is supposed to be that the dancers stay on the spot because they're dancing on the middle of a shield. So if they move, they fall off the shield. And again, being warriors who are dancing. We don't have any warriors, but we do have an awful lot of hardworking kids who apparently are still changing in their kilts. So I'll just keep talking some more. And this dance, it's really interesting because this dance, again, I have our little 4-year-old Aria would have done this. We have 4-year-olds who'll do it all the way up to, again, 30-year-old world champion. And it's very much like you teach the dance and then you keep, you know, adding to it and adjusting it and, you know, and fixing it and doing things, but the core of the dance is very much the same. So it's very accessible to people. And it's also, I think, for a lot of kids, they really enjoy it because the goalposts really don't change at all. We're pretty consistent. You learn the fling, and you do the fling, and you do the fling, and you make it better. And then maybe we switch the steps, but pretty much you're doing the fling. So they know exactly where they stand. And, you know, in today's world, nobody ever knows where they stand, but at least they know where they stand with the Highland Fling. So keep talking. Nope. Okay. We've got one who's almost ready. So what else am I going to say? Well, we have dancers who are going right now. They'll be hitting all sorts of competitions this summer as well, not just our Madison 2020. There's a Highland Games in Milwaukee. That will be the first weekend of June. There's a fantastic Highland Games in Chicago, the Chicago Highland Games, the third weekend of June, which has the largest pipe band competition in North America. There will also be the Madison Pipes and Drums somewhere in this wonderful complex, I believe around 3 o'clock if you're sticking around, because they are amazing. And a bunch of our dance dads perform with them as well, so I have to give a plug. Nope, keep talking. Why don't we get the ones out here who are ready, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so why don't you guys start coming out, right? Ines, come on out. Come on out. And we'll get Alba in there. Okay? First position arms. First position arms. There we go. First position arms. Yeah, so you can see within that super traditional aquamarine color that they would have had 200 years ago in Scotland, or with Cecily's wonderful bright blue. So, do we have an Alba? Okay, we've got one more coming. There we go. Okay. I would say I'd ask questions, but I can't see any hands. If anyone's got any questions. Does anyone have a question? And I could like go like this, and they could shout it out. Yes. It's located on the near west side. You could always look on Facebook, Breckenridge School of Highland Dance, and ping me. Oh, we do have an Alba. Fantastic. And go. There we go. We have everybody. Thank you so much. Our last dance, the Highland Fling. Thank you very much.